That was indeed a movie. I.s.s. starring Ariana DeBose, Masha Makova, co-star Ronan, and Euron Greyjoy from Game of Thrones, is a movie about tensions that flare in the near future aboard the International Space Station when a worldwide conflict breaks out on Earth. Soon the US and Russian astronauts each receive orders from the ground, take control of the station by any means necessary. Now, I didn't really have many expectations going into this movie. We're in January. There's a reason why there hasn't been a review for 2 weeks, because there's nothing been really coming out. I didn't get a chance to go see Night Swim, and I've been mainly catching up on a few of the movies that I haven't seen from 2023. So this is the first movie that was released in 2024 that I got a chance to see, and it was all right. I didn't have many expectations going into it, like I said. This movie isn't offensive in any way, but it's also not great. It's something that I'm never going to watch again. I kind of forgot about it on my drive home. I had other things on my mind because this movie doesn't really make you think about anything. You just kind of sit back for an hour and a half and you say, that's a pretty cool premise. And that's about all you got. The first two acts I thought were pretty solid. I was enjoying myself. I had a decent time. This movie really works just based off the premise alone. What would happen if there was a massive war on Earth? This is just kind of the reaction of everybody aboard the ISS and what they had to do. And astronauts will probably pick this movie apart and they can look at it and say, that wouldn't happen, that wouldn't happen, that wouldn't happen, this isn't how this works, yada, yada, yada. But I think in a general consensus, like, they delivered a pretty accurate way of showing what at least I think would happen on the ISS if America and Russia did go to war. So again, I think that the biggest thing that this movie has going for it is the premise. I just think that the execution wasn't perfect. It was only an hour and a half. It felt like an hour and a half. It only needed to be an hour and a half, so it was paced pretty well. But a few of the negatives that I had with this movie specifically were how the third act played out. Basically, there's a specific moment that just completely took me out of the movie, and I'm like, really, like, what the hell was that? And then there's a massive ex machina moment that's really silly, and then it just kind of continues on. And I didn't really have any issues with it. It was just very cartoonish, and it got very silly towards the end of the movie. So this definitely isn't something that I'm going to be watching again. If you want to turn your brain off and just watch something this weekend, I definitely recommend to go see this movie. If you're looking for a thought-provoking movie where you can take away something and find one of your favorite movies of all time, this movie is not going to be it for you. I thought for the most part the performances were fine. You don't really care about the main protagonist. She literally says at the beginning of the movie that she doesn't have anybody back home that she cares about. So you don't really empathize with her because she doesn't really care about what's going on Earth. Whereas basically every other character, they do have some sort of story where they do care about people. I don't even really remember anybody's name from this movie already. So I don't have too much more to add. Again, if you just want to turn your brain off for about an hour and a half and just go see something just for the hell of it, definitely go see this movie this weekend. If you want something that is more thought-provoking, I would definitely recommend you go and see American Fiction. That was a movie that I finally got a chance to see earlier this week on Monday. Didn't do a review on it, but that was a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. Follow me over on Letterboxd where you see all of my reviews for new movies, old movies, movies that I saw but I just didn't review, everything like that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of ISS down in the comments below, and we will see you in the next movie review.